Hi, welcome to your strategy room. In this video, I'm going to redefine innovation. When I talked about the tridexterity, we covered value exploration, value formation, and value maintenance. Being tridexterous with our fight against entropy was primarily applicable to us. However, because we know that our fight against entropy is in everywhere and in everything, that includes our target market too. Just like we are fighting against entropy right now, and we will be fighting against entropy as an organization in the near and the long distance future, so do our customer base. When we look at their past and present battles, their problems, their operational, sales, marketing, whatever area that you can think of, or the particular area that you are fulfilling as far as their needs and wants are concerned, you are actually contributing to their fight against entropy. And your contribution to their fight against entropy is based on your product or service. Now, in that world, there are things that you get paid for, and there are things that you don't get paid for. But at the end of the day, you are contributing with all of your organizational presence to their fight against entropy. So the number one is to acknowledge the fact that your customer base, those who pay you for your products and services, they are fighting against entropy as well. So once we acknowledge that, we need to think about their future fight against entropy. I know there are many, many different ways to measure that or sense that so that we can prepare strategically for their future with our products and services or with our revenue generators. But the best method to prepare for their future needs and wants is to understand their fight against entropy and take actions as an organization today to prepare for their future needs and wants. So innovation is our way of understanding and executing, meaning that taking actions towards fulfilling not only their present but also their future needs and wants, and future fight against entropy that may be vastly, vastly different from how they're fighting against entropy today. I'm going to give the best example from elevator industry. So if it goes 100 years ago, the way that building owners and property managers, how they fought against entropy back then is significantly different than how they are fighting against entropy today. So it's an elevator service company who serviced those buildings back then versus they are servicing these buildings today. The not only the product but the services, but the entire ecosystem is very different. So in other words, I'm going to pick a company, Otis Elevator. They cannot stay where they were 100 years ago. It's because not only their own organizations changed against entropic forces, but so did their customers. Just like we can see the last 100 years of the changes in the building management services, particularly the elevator services, we can make the same predictions for the next 100 years in the building management and property management area in the elevator services. And it's not very difficult. We can either take random guesses or we can try to genuinely understand what kind of entropic forces will be at play at managing a building, and particularly in that building, particularly how property managers and building owners will be maintaining their elevators, modernizing their elevators, and repairing their elevators. This landscape is going to be so much more different. But what we need to do in today's world, we need to prepare for that. Our physical act of that type of preparation is our innovation. So, what we're doing essentially is we are strategically thinking about what the landscape is going to look like and what kind of energy conservation or uh, usage of minimal amount of energy that our target market is going to be engaging in the short distance as well as the long distance. And when they are ready to demand these type of services, we are going to be there and we are going to be ready for them. And that we see in the strategic management world, we see it as either product positioning, service positioning, or even brand positioning, or combining all of these three together. And we start preparing it from today. And where else do we see the same example? Again, going back to Henry Ford example, where if he asked his customer base at the time, hey, my customer base, what are your needs and wants? Well, they would have said faster horses. Instead, they were not aware by the fact that what they needed was automobiles. And Ford, with very ambitious, very bold strategic movement, invested in automotive production, and he was ready when its customer base was ready for that type of demand. And that is the innovative part of our strategic formulation. So this brings me to the definition of innovation. Innovation is our act of actively joining our end users and our customers fight against entropy, not only for present, but in the future, irrespective of the fact that they are aware of this or not. That's why a lot of the time they get surprised when we have our products and services ready when they need them the most. We've covered a lot of topics in this video again. I'm going to be contributing more with different videos with my YouTube community. So don't forget to subscribe for my next video. And also don't forget to ask any questions, ask for clarifications. I'll be more than happy to answer every single one of them. And also join my YouTube community and let's engage uh, in insightful conversations. Look forward for my next video.